Friday, March 29th. Mom never watches these videos. She's thought about it, but she's never watched any of these videos. So this is safe. This is safe. It's a safe space. We condensed Easter last night, and I came across this, and it's so fucking cute. It's so fucking cute that I decided, Mom, I hadn't seen this one yet. I don't know where it came from, but yeah, there was some basket that I bought her that kind of looked like a mallard duck, I think it was, when we first put Easter out many moons ago, whenever the hell that was. Probably right after Christmas, the way retail works. I don't fucking know. But then there was like some stuffed animal ducks. They're like these little stuffed animal ducks. One of them looked like a cow. I don't know, all the cute ones, but I hadn't seen this one yet. So, whack. It's like Batman Returns. It's like the Penguin's vehicle. Whack, 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 whack. I guess they could both make that noise, actually. So yeah, I kind of want to make that my thumbnail, but Mom might come across this video when I post it on Facebook. She won't watch it, but she might come across it, and if I put that in the thumbnail, she's going to be like, oh, he bought me something, and it's supposed to be a surprise. And I had it sitting up here in the bag because I was like, I knew I wanted to show it off in the video, because Mom doesn't watch them, so. She watched my Chicago videos when I went to Chicago. She said she would sit down and eat supper and watch my Chicago videos. So, but that's the only one. That's the only one I know of that she's watched ever. So you watch. This will be like the one. She'll be like, "Oh, I'm just curious," and click on it. I'll be like, "You watch, you watch." But anyway, other than that, we have today's question to answer. Is anything holding you back? From what? Would be my question. I mean, no, I don't think so. I mean, I guess depending on how you look at it, I mean, I don't mind my job. I hate that they make it suck so much a lot of times. I don't know, there's this new process that, is working about as good as all the old processes that they've ever put in place, in recent years. I don't know, like, I don't really hate my job. I don't. It's fairly simple, fairly easy. And like I said, there might be other jobs I'd be happier with or happier at, and maybe even make more money, you never know. But I guess I've kind of gotten comfortable there, and it's like I kind of know what I'm doing, and I've been there for 17 years now, so like, I've built up, I mean, a lot of years with this company, and like I mean, not that the benefits are great, but it's like, I don't know, the way you collect your protected PTO, PP, I just have to say PP, TO, PP, TO, parentheses, hashtag, PP, it depends on how many years you've been there, like if you've, I mean, now, like, they've changed a lot of stuff, to where, I mean, I don't even know how long you have to be there. I think you have to be there like a year now or something to even get a discount card. Don't quote me on that. I don't know if that's true. But I feel like, I mean, when I first started working there, you just took your name badge to the register and been like, hey, I work here, give me my employee discount. I found out when I bought the stuff at the university, did I mention that yesterday? The university store, I found out if you're an alumni, you get like 10% off. She just asked me, she's like, are you military or alumni? I'm like, well, I'm alumni from many moons ago. I just put it in the thing and didn't even ask questions, didn't ask for a blood sample or nothing. I mean, I still peed on the desk, just in case, urine sample is maybe better than a blood sample. They'll at least know if you've had asparagus or not, usually in most cases. Um, but yeah, I think maybe it's like 90 days or something. I don't know. They've changed a lot of that to where, like, new employees, but also like the longer you've been with the company, the faster percentage or whatever it is. I don't know. It's a math thing. Um, you gain your PPTO quicker. Because you've been with the company longer. I guess that's supposed to be a benefit and, a thank you and, you know, not more pay than everyone else, but you know how that goes. So, I mean, I guess my comfort, and I mean, a little bit of fear, I mean, more than a little bit of fear, to be honest. I mean, trying something new is scary, like putting yourself out there and, yesterday's question about rejection, like, I mean, I don't have a dream job, though. I mean, I feel like I've discussed that, somewhere in these last however fucking many, 85, are we at 86? I mean, I meant 86. Yesterday was 85, I think. I don't know. Numbers again. Who knows? I don't have a dream job. I don't have anything I want to do. When people are like, if we're given, multiple tasks to try to, complete, or like given, heaven forbid we should do a mod or something, but we're given different mods to do or whatever, or which like what do you want to do? When one of my coworkers asked me that, my answer has become, I want to win the lottery and never work again. Like I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to be there. I don't want to, once again, I don't want to go to a job I don't want to do to pay bills that I don't want to pay. Being an adult fucking sucks. I know we've definitely discussed that. Like, I don't really want anything. It's the same fucking 8 hours that I'm stuck there for because, I'm an adult and I have fucking bills to pay and Funko Pops to buy. And I don't know what the last Funko Pop is. Oh, there's a couple down in there. Because Amazon gave me some kind of, you had to spend 40, so basically you had to spend 20, because they gave you $20 off if you uploaded photos with their photo program or whatever. They gave you like a $20 credit or something, and I was like, well, hell yeah. But then it was $20 off 40, so you still had to spend 20, but I ended up with a couple of Funko Pops. Was it another Dolly Parton one that I didn't know was, I think it's Diamond? Or Diamond Select with Funko Pops. It's like covered in glitter kind of thing. I have a Jareth from Labyrinth that I lucked into because those sold out like that. So yeah, or door dashing. I can't remember the last time I actually door dashed either. I mean, we went out for payday lunch yesterday, but there'll probably be more door dashing in my future. Especially if I can get this second part-time job started back up. I did hear from him, by the way, while it's on my mind, and he said something about he wants to get me working as soon as possible, which makes me think that they're in dire straits again. Maybe nobody works there. I don't know. He's like, but he was working on hiring a supervisor or something, and I don't know. So he said maybe in a week. So, okay. Whatever. You know what I'm saying? That was just a little aside for an update, I suppose. But there's nothing that I want. There's nothing there. I don't have a dream job. I mean, I was talking the other day about writing and how I used to write when I was a kid. But even back then, like, it was more of a hobby. Like, I always felt like if you took something that was a hobby that you enjoyed, like writing, I did enjoy writing, and turn it into your job and how you put food in your mouth, and it became a responsibility instead of a hobby, like that crossed a line to where it was no longer fun, and you would no longer want to do it. I mean, I've gotten lazy, definitely, for sure. I know in college, like, I took some creative writing classes, and then it's like you had to, like, write for the class. You had to have, like, at the end of the classes, you had to have, like, so many stories, maybe a poem or something. I can't remember. I mean, I was able to take some of the stuff that I'd already wrote, and I guess submit it for my portfolio or whatever. But then it was like, I mean, I sat down and I wrote these stories that it was like, I wrote them because I had to write them. It wasn't like they were the greatest thing ever. It was just kind of an idea that I had in my head. And I sat down and I'm like, well, I got to do this for class, I don't know. It just wasn't as much fun, and I don't feel like the product was as as good as it could have been, because it was like, well, I have to sit down and I have to write this. And then, of course, I'm pretty sure I talked about that in one of these other questions that I answered at some point, about how, I got to creative writing for publication. I just felt like a fucking idiot, like, because we went around the room. It was a different teacher. My other two was like this goth chick or something. So, I mean, she was kind of cool, but the only guy on campus that taught creative writing for publication, my friend called him the lit Nazi. He was a lot more serious about writing, and it's like, I just felt like a fucking idiot, because we went around the room, and he was like, well, why do you write? What makes you want to write, whatever, blah, 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 blah. And all these other people had great answers. They were like, oh, I just feel like the words flow out of me onto the page, blah, 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 blah. So I get around the room. Everybody has these wonderful, beautiful, very artistic answers. And then it gets to me, the guy in the corner eating paste, and I'm like, I like to write because it's fun. And so, I felt very judged in that moment. But I mean, since I've grown up, I'm like, there's a place for people like me. I've learned that, I mean, Michael Bay. People talk mad shit on Michael Bay. He took us to make fucking movies where things explode and there's no exposition, and it's not an artistic endeavor, whatever. It's just metal creatures crashing together that you never know their names, because they're just kind of there. I'm talking about Transformers, of course. And then there's Shia LaBeouf and Megan Fox, and that's all anyone ever cares about. But, I mean, I think about, I grew up reading, as maybe or not know, R.L. Stein, had the Goosebumps books for I felt that was a little bit younger, for younger kids. But then he had the Fear Street books for, the young adult audience, I guess. And I was reading those, like I was eating those up like hotcakes. I own almost every single one that was ever made. I need to go through and find which ones I don't have and see if I can find them on eBay, and and finish my collection of ones that I have, or ones that I need. But I feel like R.L. Stein might be a little bit more a little bit more respected than Michael Bay, but it's, his product. There's the Harry Potters and that sort of thing, but I don't know. I guess I feel like those are considered higher art, I guess, in some ways, than like books where, teens are running around killing each other, or sometimes they'd be like supernatural, those R.L. Stein Fear Street books, but I've learned since that mentality was defeating. That mentality was holding me back, because it was like, there's a place for people like me, like, you guys, like, you have your, Citizen Kane up here, and then you have your, like, Transformer movies down here. Not that I really wanted to write movies. I don't know. There's just never really been anything that I've wanted to do with my life. That's like, it was just like this impending doom. Like, oh, high school's over. What the fuck do I do now? I can go to college. That's more school. People do that. That leads to a better job. So I'll just go do that. Like, all I've done my entire life is do school. So I'll just go do more school. That's cool. And then came the end of that, and I'm like, oh fuck, what do I do now? well, there's a graduate program. I'll just go do the graduate program, and then I can work in the computer lab for a couple more years. And then that came to an end, and I'm like, shit, like, what do I guess I become an adult. I guess I go get a job and support myself. And now I've been where I've been for the last 17 years, So, I mean, that mentality, I guess, held me back. Because, it's like, you don't have to go to college out of high school. Like, you can get a job, and just, if that's what you want to do, like, you don't have to go to college. I mean, I gained, friends for life and some experiences that I wouldn't have gained if, but I don't remember anything from my classes, like, I remember talking about ghost stories. That one time at, in Lexington, I didn't watch that video, but it's like Civil War days. I went with my friends Matt and Katie to go do Civil War days down there in Lexington. But there used to be Wentworth, and it's a military academy. It was. It is nothing now. It is closed. I wonder if they did anything with those buildings, or if they're just sitting there abandoned with the ghosts in them, But I kind of forgot where I was going with that. Civil War days. Going to Wentworth. Oh, because Wentworth, we were talking about the ghost stories of Lexington one day. I can't tell you what class it was. It ended up being a summer class that I took. Because the semester, I went to sign up for the spring semester, and both of the classes that I went to take got canceled because there wasn't enough people to sign up for them. So I ended up having to do a semester in the summer. And yeah, I don't remember what class it was or what I was supposed to be learning, but all I remember from it is the ghost stories, talking about the ghost stories of Lexington. Because, it's a Civil War town and blah, 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 blah. And you can go see the cannonball in the courthouse, though people have told me that they've replaced it with a replica because it wasn't safe. So I don't know. I don't know if it's the actual cannonball or not, but it's in the courthouse. So yeah, I was never dedicated to my classes or what, I went to school for communication, communications, and it was like, I had to pick something so I didn't waste my time. But my friend Jason had a good point when I was talking about it one time with him, and he was like, well, if you think about it, you did. Like, I did waste my time because I didn't care anything about school, really, or getting a better job. I didn't want a job. I didn't want to be an adult. It was thrust upon me. And all these years later, here I still am. Like, would that be 20 years later? I don't know. I was either 23 or 24, I guess, when I graduated college. So, or with the master's program that I never finished. So, I didn't technically graduate. I just stopped going. I never started my readings class. I never, did that paper that I was supposed to do for the comprehensive exam, and I never wrote my thesis. So, like, I just stopped going. I never finished, And I've been where I am for the last 17 years, which has also gained me, friends and experiences and, things that I wouldn't have had if but there again, if I had gotten some other kind of job, I would have had friends from that place and experiences that I never would have had otherwise with, that place. So, life is all about experiences, I suppose. So yeah, there might be another job that I'm happier at, like I said, but it's like, so I guess my, it is a bit of fear, because like I said, doing something new is scary, but it's like you learn it, even going and doing the second part-time job last year, I was kind of like, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, and there's a lot of fast food around here, but I don't think I could do fast food. I really don't, because it's fast, it's supposed to be fast, and I, sometimes overthink way too much. And it's like, okay, which button do I push for the Big Mac? It's around here somewhere. Or, when if I was in the back trying to make the Big Mac. I'm like, okay, wait, how many patties go on this? What, what the sauce? And it's like, like I would like, oh, I would always be doubting myself. Kind of, I believe was it yesterday? I was talking about the 6th grade Shoemaker and the Elves, how I doubted myself, and I was off to the side, reading my line over and over and over again, just so they didn't forget it, because I didn't trust myself. I mean, there might still be some of that, and once again, I don't go out of my way to, put myself in these situations where, I have to trust myself, I mean that kind of, I kind of started that, thanks to my friend Nick, to be honest, because there was that one weekend where he was going to Magic the Gathering, the card game, the nerd card game. And there was one time, or like one day, they went to St. Roberts, I think was the name of the town. Somewhere near St. Louis, like maybe a suburb of St. Louis. I don't know. I feel like it was St. Robert or St. Roberts or something. I feel like I've recently told this story thanks to one of these questions. But like they were in that Magic tournament all day, and Jimmy. It was me and Jimmy. We were the only ones not in this Magic tournament. And I mean, they were in the Magic tournament all day, just like they were. I feel like the next day was when they did at there was some kind of convention going on up in the city, and that's when I was walking around with the link, from one building to the next, like Union Station. You could take the link to Union Station. It's this walkway that goes above the streets so that you can get from one place to another. But basically, I mean, it just connects, fancy hotel to fancy hotel to Union Station, and Crown Center. Crown Center's there too, which has like Legoland now and the aquarium and all that shit. I don't know if it did at the time. And it has the Westin. That started my. I want to go stay in the hotel with the waterfall. I would only stay there once now that I've looked it up. Because it's expensive, and it's fucking stupid, because it's like you have to pay for your breakfast, you have to like pay some kind of surcharge to use their internet and shit. I'm like, how is this a fancy fucking hotel when all this other shit, like I think you have to pay for your own parking? I'm like, I can go to the Super 8 down the street and get all this shit included in my like $65 a night. And you're like twice that, and I gotta pay for all this extra fucking shit? Like, how is this a fancy fucking hotel? How is this like, I can't think of the word that they would use. But luxury? Like, how is this luxury? Like, you're stressing, like, luxury is not being stressed out by, like, oh, I gotta pay for this extra shit. It's like, I'll bring some, like, granola bars and work off my fucking hotspot. You can kiss my ass, But it's like, I want to stay once just because of the waterfall. It's the hotel with the waterfall. So I was wandering around that day by myself, too, But definitely St. Robert that day, because Jimmy and I walked around for a while. The Magic tournament was being held in some, I call them nerd shops, like a comic book shop. So I mean, we looked around in there. It was in this little strip mall. I think there was like a Salvation Army or something, some kind of thrift store. We went around, looked in there. There's like a Walgreens across the street. We went and looked in there. But we stayed. There was some kind of like pizzeria or something downstairs where we went to eat lunch. We didn't travel very far. Jimmy didn't. But I kind of took off on, Jimmy went back to the car to take a nap, because like I said, they were in this Magic tournament all day. All day. And I was like, I just didn't want to sit around. So, I mean, this was even before Pokemon Go, I think. I mean, I guess I would have had, GPS. I would have had a map, something to keep me. But, I was worried about, I didn't trust myself. And it's like, well, what if I get lost? And I was like, I knew I just took off in the other direction, on the sidewalk, and I was like, just to see what was there, because I was bored. Like, Jimmy was asleep in the car, and I was like, well, what am I gonna do? you know, like everybody else is still playing the fucking Magic tournament, you know. So I just took off in the other direction. I'm like, all I got to do is come right back the same way, you know, and ended up finding like a supermarket and some kind of farmer's market or something too. And I asked them, you know, what is there to do around here or whatever, you know. I told them my friends were in the Magic tournament and I was just walking around bored, nothing to do. And somebody told me about a park that was like down the street, and if you took a left or whatever and just went down, you'd find it or whatever. And I almost didn't go because, once again, I didn't trust myself to not get lost. And, you know, I just, you know, even then it's like what, you know, like, you know, Nick, like, if I get lost, just call Nick and he'll come find me and pick me up, you know, like, it's not a big deal, you know. But since it was easy to find, it sounded like it was easy to find, just up the street and take a left and you'll find this park to wander around, you know. So I did. I wandered off to this park and, you know, I found my way back. I didn't get lost, you know. That kind of helped bolster my confidence a little bit. Even though when I was at the park, I can't remember what they said, but there were these two little kids talking on their bikes that like rode by and was talking some kind of shit on me. I can't remember. I can't remember what the kid said. I just remember they said they were making some kind of comment or something. I don't know. I don't remember what they were saying. Obviously, it didn't matter anyway. But I would just wander around, you know, taking pictures and things. I mean, that was way before I was vlogging, I guess. Of course, I didn't have a camera with me. So what was I gonna do? I mean, I guess you could take, you know, that's a camera. I'm pointing to a camera. You can take pictures and video with your phone, especially now. Though maybe you know, uploading the videos to Facebook or YouTube or anything wasn't that easy back then. I don't know. I don't even know if I knew what YouTube was back then. Back in my day, there wasn't no YouTube. There was a tube of toothpaste, and you were lucky to get one for $1.79. I don't know. And you had to walk uphill both ways in the snow to get it. That was if you didn't get hauled off to war. I want you to know, I almost laughed out a fart right there, but did you hear it? All the fucks and farts stay in. That's the promise. Minxie heard it. She was like, what is that? I'm losing it a little bit here. Just a little bit. So anyway, I mean, I have held myself back in the past, and if you ever hear me talk about, you know, like when I was a teenager, when I was younger, and how I don't like that version of myself, I mean, I do, like I said, I do still have a bit of that, you know, a little bit less so now. Like if you know, if I were to take off, I don't know that I would take off by myself. Like when we went to Omaha for HauntACon, you know, I don't know that I necessarily would have taken off by myself to go, you know, look for something. Look for a store. But there again, I mean, now we have we have GPS. Like, GPS can get me back. Definitely, for sure. If I don't use my battery, you know, doing Pokemon Go all the way. Gotta be sure to, you know, save that battery. Or at least have, you know, a battery backup on me. So that, you know, my phone doesn't die. And it's like, oh, well, now I can't find my way back. Because my phone died and I don't have access to GPS. And I can't call Sean and be like, come pick me up, I don't know where I am. Right? Sheesh. So, but yeah, I mean, I definitely didn't trust myself in the past, you know. And, I mean, I still don't, I guess. So that's maybe one way I'm holding myself back, because it's like, you know, that's like working fast food when I was looking for a second part-time job last year. It's like, I don't know if I can do fast food. I just don't. But I mean, I might get into it and pick it up like that and be like, boop, diddy, boop, boop, boop. You know, I might be the fastest, best, you know, fast food worker that they ever had. But I don't trust myself enough. And I guess I don't want to put myself in that position, or them, you know, Because it's like they hire me thinking, oh, hey, we have another set of hands, and then it's like I completely and absolutely suck at the job because I've never done it before, And it's like, hey, this is fast food for a reason. Like, why are you taking 20 minutes to put together a sandwich? Like, what's going on? I don't know. So I guess, once again, just like with rejection, I don't put myself in a situation to doubt myself very often. And maybe that's what, I stay with the company, I stay with the job that I've had for 17 years. I know what I'm doing. I kind of know, what it is, what it was, what it could be, I always think I know, they've made it about as dumb as they can make it, and then they just go that one rung lower, like every single fucking time. So what it could be, I mean, I know what it could be, but then it always ends up being just dumber for whatever reason. So I don't want to, put myself out there and find out I can't do something else, and then it's like, well, I should have just stuck with a job that I knew what I was doing for, I mean, I'm not going to leave this job. Anything else would be like a second part-time job, temporary, while I, try to get my shit together. And then I spent all that, months making all that extra money last year and still didn't quite get my shit together. So here we are again. Another summer of a second part-time job. But, we'll try. We'll see what happens this year. If I can be a better adult or not. But, so I mean, I guess I don't really put myself in these positions to, find out whether doubting myself is correct or incorrect. But, so I mean, I guess that kind of holds me back. But there again, it's like, I mean, I don't really want to do anything anyway. Any job that I have is gonna, like, maybe suck a little less, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to have a job. I just want to sit on my couch and nap all day, and scroll mindlessly through Facebook and, watch my stories and drag queens. You know what I mean? Like, that's all I would really want to do. Like, but anyway. So, I mean, I feel like any job that I have is going to suck in one way or another, because it's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. Like, this is just for a paycheck. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I guess maybe my laziness is holding me. But I mean, there again, like I said, I don't know. I don't have goals. I don't have aspirations. I don't have anything that I want to do besides win the lottery and never work again. Like, I don't know. I don't want much out of life. I just don't. So I'm good with what I have, and what I can get when I get an opportunity to, go have lunch or go buy another Funko Pop or, go DoorDash again. I mean, you don't have to go DoorDash. That's the point. They bring it to you. You don't have to go anywhere. So that's nice. But anyway, I suppose maybe somewhere mixed in there answers the question in some way, shape, or form. But anyway, that's about as good an answer as I suppose you're going to get out of me, and it's already, I have no idea how long this video is, so it's probably long enough. It's long enough that Minxie has been up there, down in my lap, and now back up there. So, good on her for, she's a strong, independent woman who don't need no man, you know what I'm saying? She didn't have to get her groove back. She never lost it. Good for her. Good for her. But anyway, that's what that is. I am going to Mom's this weekend, but she's going to come pick me up tomorrow, I assume. Anyway, she hasn't messaged me to say anything otherwise. So hopefully I will be awake sometime after midnight so that I can do tomorrow's video and not have to film myself in Mom's car. But if I have to, at least I know, at least I have a sanctuary to where I can, go answer a question without bothering anybody. But anyway, that's that. And I'll see you for what I see you, I suppose.